now I want to actually talk about some of the stuff we've talked about, but reiteration is never bad. And we'll talk about some of the dangers with the physical act of coitus, and then we'll talk about some scenarios in which we want to terminate those pregnancies for the various reasons. Okay, so this is obviously again not my lecture. Good friend Dr. Kochel, she's at Purdue University. Dean is a Tuskegee graduate. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Got to have goals. So you guys have seen this. It's about the third time I've shown you this. You need to understand this, okay? These periods of estrus, as far as the estrus cycle, the actual window of standing estrus, and then the onset of ovulation relative to the onset of standing estrus or estral behavior, okay? So really, really important. Make sure you understand that. You're probably going to see that again, and well, really for the rest of your life. So we know that all these species have their own variations, okay, and how they respond to the male. And we've talked a lot about this. Cow, remember we talked about standing to be mounted. Okay, that animal that is going to have that rigid sawhorse type stance. They're bracing themselves. When you guys think about this physical act of coitus and putting something, on her back. 2,300 pounds, she's got to brace herself, okay? So she is gonna really stand, widen those legs. Remember we saw that bull walk up and down that cow and rub his chin along her back, kind of sweet talking her. And then we have that sexually active group, or sag, okay? Remember that bull's gonna see those females riding one another, and he's gonna get up and go down there and investigate. The mare, very dramatic. She's flagging her tail, she's squatting, she's squealing. She's really trying to, get some attention, and really, again, just kind of quite dramatic, as opposed to the cow who just kind of gives up and stands there. Now, without the presence of a male, remember that cow can do a lot of walking. We talked about those pedometers, and we talked about estrus detection, and all those accelerometers, seeing how, charting her movements, okay? When we talked about the mare the other day, we talked about teasing with that stallion. We showed you that little pony stallion that was being used to check for mares in heat. And when we talked about sows, we talked about going stall to stall or pen to pen. We had the borbot that would drive around or lead around throughout the gilt house. And then you physically can go in there and do the back pressure test. Put hands on her hips. She'll brace herself. Her little ears will flop up. Okay. With the does, a lot like other ruminants, like the cow. Okay. But she does have that little tail that she likes to flag a lot. Try to get some attention from the bucks there. Same thing. A lot of flagging of tails. They're going to do the seeking out of the male's behavior, or seeking out of the males by walking or seeming impatient or restless. The female dog there, she's going to obviously again stand. So that's kind of a universal thing, is that they're going to stand in their moment of receptivity. But she kind of moves her tail to the side. You guys seen these bitches when they resist the male? They'll oftentimes have that tail really tucked up under them, like they're kind of using it as a guard there. Come near my vulva. With the queen, again, a little bit more dramatic. All that crouching, the rolling, they really kind of, come at you with their head and rub their head on you, and then kind of rub all their back and spin around. Some people think it's really sweet, that a cat's really loving. No, it wants you to breathe it. And I can't have that in my house. Each his own. So here's the bull. Remember what kind of penis we have? That fibroelastic penis. We have that really big sigmoid flexure, and as we increase blood flow and cause an erection, remember, we're not changing the shape a lot of that penis. We're just straightening it out. We're gonna straighten that bend out, okay? The glans penis, the very last terminal portion of that penis is very sensitive to heat and moisture. He can't look down there and see what he's doing while he's on her back, okay? So he is going to do several searching motions, okay? You're gonna see him do a lot of small, short pelvic thrusts, trying to get intromission or make penetration. Once he does, then he'll kind of get locked in, and there's gonna be several short, rapid thrusts, followed by what we call the breeding lunge. This is a very, very short, episode. There's not some long, drawn-out magical interaction here. Remember, he might weigh, a ton in a piece, and so he's going to get up there, do his job, and he needs to get all 4 feet back on planet Earth really quick. Remember that he will spray that semen on the cervix. I think the next slide mentioned this, but probably about half of the bulls, that free portion of the penis, so the penis, the distal portion of the penis, so you take the attachment of the prepuce, and then you have that last 7, maybe 8 inches, depending on the exact size of the bull. But that entire distal portion of the penis can and will actually spiral. So it will take this kind of a corkscrew turn, all right? And by doing that, the belief is that it helps him spray semen more evenly around on the cervix, okay? But that should only happen at that ejaculatory or breeding thrust, or that ejaculatory lunge, all right? There's not a lot of volume here, about 4 mLs, okay, is the average, 4 or 5 cc's. And again, that can depend on the bull, and when the last time he actually ejaculated. That could play into for all of these male species. But TSE is total sperm per ejaculate. Okay, you see that although there's not a lot of volume, still going to probably ejaculate about 5 billion sperm. All right, so for 5 billion sperm for 1 ovum. All right, who's the more efficient, gender here? So when we look at actual coitus, you can see in that top picture that he has an erection. He has simply extended that penis, and he's doing his searching motions, again trying to detect heat and moisture. In the lower picture, you notice that free portion of that penis is corkscrewed, okay? It's got a nice turn in it. That should not happen prior to intromission. If it is happening prior to intromission, that bull is not going to be able to successfully make intromission. And he's probably going to injure himself by thrusting that corkscrew, that spiral, into her backside, okay? And there are bulls that will have what we call a spiral deviation. This is who they are, this is what they do, okay? And they're not going to be able to procreate in normal coitus. There is a surgery to help fix that. Along the dorsum of that free portion of the penis, there is what we call a dorsal apical ligament. All right, we believe that helps keep rigidity in that free portion of the penis. We believe that either those bulls have a very weak apical ligament, or they have, very lax apical ligament, or some anomaly, associated with that apical ligament that allows them, as soon as they get full erection, to go ahead and preemptively spiral. And so the procedure to fix that, it's actually pretty complicated. I've only done it once, but you actually go in and you take off the quadriceps, and you incise the dorsum of the penis, just the skin, and you graft a muscle fascia underneath that apical ligament on top of the free portion of the penis, and essentially try to make the apical ligament scar with that fascia so that he will not spiral at all. Okay? And that's a challenge because you have to suture that thing down without taking your needle into the corpus cavernosus penis to create shunts, okay? Not damage the dorsal nerves of the penis. You're going to lay a fibrous tissue over the dorsal nerves of the penis. It's It's a very tedious type surgery. But anyway, you see that it does not take very long to actually ejaculate. Okay, it's going to make an intermission. As soon as he knows that he's made full intermission, we're ejaculating and we're done. Okay, and remember, we're going to have each species is going to have a little bit of a build-up, their own little mechanism for how to talk to that female and make sure that she's very receptive. We're going to have a defined breeding period, an active coitus, and then there's going to be a refractory period. Okay? Because this bull kind of is very quick and everything, he does not need a very long, extensive refractory period. He can turn around, see another cow being mounted, or smell another cow in heat, and get right back after it. Remember, he's designed to cover a lot of females, so he can't have an extended breeding portion. Short estrus cycle, short breeding period. Okay, short time of actual copulation.
How much will the TSC drop per?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Everybody always wants to know that. Most of these guys can easily cover 5 to 7 cows in a day. Okay, that is probably close to their daily, the DSO, the daily spermatic output. So they can probably easily, have 20 to 30 billion, sperm cells. And if you think about that, when we talk about AIing and freezing semen and what the normal conventional dose is, remember what we said the normal conventional dose of frozen semen was for the bull? 20 million. So one ejaculation, we can freeze a lot of semen doses on these guys, okay? So, short estrus period, short time of ovulation, short actual time of receptivity, short active coitus, and then a short refractory time. See how that works, okay? And that's she's polyestrous. She's going to come right back into heat. Only 3 weeks later, she doesn't get pregnant. I say all that stuff because if you remember, just, start categorizing these things together. The males aren't, going to go do something drastically different from the female. All right, so in the stallion, remember we had that hemodynamic penis. It really changes size and shape, requires a lot more blood flow. Yes, ma'am.
I missed that last bullet point, what you meant by that 50% spiral.
So about half of the bulls, we believe about half of the bulls normally have a spiral motion at ejaculation. That's normal if it happens inside the vagina at the ejaculatory threshold. If it happens outside of the vagina prior to ejaculation, that is a pathological condition that needs addressing.
Is that reading the phone?
It very well could be. It's an anomaly. A lot of these anomalies, we don't know if they're congenital, if they had some kind of injury that induced that. A lot of these bulls that you have to imagine, to repair that, I'd probably have to charge somebody $2,000 or $3,000 to do that repair. And those bulls that are worth doing that, most of them have been in an AI stud, and they're trying to get as much semen as fast as they can to sell as much. A lot of these bulls have injuries that go misdiagnosed or they don't get informed to the owner, So there's a lot of always questions that they go into, some of those injuries and spending time in the AI stud. All right. So, again, we talked about the mare and the stallion, a lot more dramatic event, a lot more flair. E2 is going to have these pre-ejaculatory thrusts. Some of these trained stallions that you are collecting on a regular basis, they all have, there's different ways to handle these guys. A lot of them have a special halter that they wear. That halter may have like a bell on it, so when they hear that bell, they know it's time to be collected, so that just everybody that comes and gets me out of the stall, I don't think that you're going to let me breed something right now, and then they get all wound up. And so there's different cues. At Auburn, everybody's required to wear a helmet, and you should wear a helmet. I mean, these guys can really quickly club you in the head. But when those stallions see people wearing, everybody wearing an Auburn football helmet, out of the stall and they have pelvic thrust walking all the way across the barnyard, to the breeding shed. They know, okay? But the stallion will have a lot of urethral waves, okay? And they'll be a pulsatile fashion. He will often, he should flag his tail as he's ejaculating. And it's not flagging like the mare does aggressively, but you can kind of see it raise and lower, raise and lower. The same thing will happen when you are passing a urinary catheter. When you go up and over the brim of the pelvis, when you make that bend, that stallion should, or even that gelding, will lift their tail. So it kind of gives you blindly an idea of where your catheter is. So when anything kind of beyond urine kind of goes over the brim of that pelvis there, they will typically flag their tails, okay? A lot more volume here, all right? A lot more volume here. And he actually is going to have a little bit higher TSC, probably double or so what the bull is. When we talk about these small ruminants, it's very similar to the bull. It's a very, very short, rapid event. Miss it. Just remember that these guys have a urethral process or that vermiform appendage. Vermiform just means worm-like. That too, these guys probably don't spiral like the bull does when he ejaculates, but that urethral process, when you have all that pressure of ejaculation coming through there with a much more viscous fluid, like seminal fluid, that it probably is kind of like those party favors where you hold the thing and you spin it around. Yeah, it's kind of like a little party favor. It's in the vagina, just spinning around, spraying semen everywhere, trying to disperse it. Best way I can describe it to you. We sometimes joke and call the urethral process a party favor. That's what he's bringing to the party. So we know that we can have a lot of pathology. Stones to watch, all right, in these pets or these show bucks and show rams, and a lot of times we will have to do surgery or amputate. We do know that it does not seem to interfere with their ability to get females pregnant if we do have to amputate that thing. And it probably has to do with the fact that they just ejaculate so much and so many sperm. There's probably per size body weight. My goodness, there's a lot of testicular tissue there on these guys. They have very, very large testicles, but again, they're designed to be trying to cover a very large amount of females. Okay, with the boar, he has a fibroelastic. Somewhat, has that sigmoid flexure like the ruminant, but he's not going to have as rigid of an erection as the bull. When we talk about, back up for 1 second, and I'll mention that when we get to injuries. So he does have a normal spiraling to that penis. Okay, you can see that free portion of that penis there on that guy. That is normal. We actually believe that curvature there, as he's making a few quick little lunges, that penis will actually, almost like a screw, will corkscrew into and lock into the external os of the cervix. So he is threading, in a screwing-like motion, the free portion of that penis into the cervix external os. So when he ejaculates, it's almost like he's ejaculating intrauterine. We can at least say probably, intracervical or, inside the cervix there. But again, he's trying to guarantee a proper insemination location. With bulls and the small ruminants, probably spraying the cervix. Remember we talked about with the stallion, that huge gland penis and very soft muscular cervix, probably opening that cervix. He too is probably ejaculating into the uterus. The boar is at least ejaculating into the cervix, which the intention is to really deposit straight into the uterus. There's, see the bottom picture there, you know, the little playground toy, you know, that is your standard, you know, dummy when you're collecting boars. That big spring-loaded, Blue Betsy is what they call the one, it's a swan unit over at Auburn, and just never look at those again the same, after you've seen Pete have his way with it, a couple of times. Very, 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 very large volume of ejaculate. Most of these guys can ejaculate a pint. Okay, 500 ml is not uncommon, all right? And so, you know, when we start talking about dispersal of semen through the AI industry of swine, you know, there's very, very limited, it'll be a very tight gene pool is what I'm trying to get at, because a handful of boars can inseminate all the gilts we have in this country. Okay, there's so much ejaculate and so many sperm. Again, throw on top of it that little thing I talked about one day last week with mixing semen from different boars to increasing the competitive nature of those sperm. So it doesn't take many boars to inseminate a very high number of gilts. Okay, 37.5 billion sperm in one ejaculate. Now remember, this is a polytocious species, a litter-bearing species. So notice, in the monotocious species, 5 to maybe 9 billion was the max per ejaculation, because I've got to go spread that out amongst a harem of females or a herd of females. Now, one service with a female that could possibly have 15 to 20 offspring, and I've got to deliver a lot more sperm. All right, see how that works there. Again, just rationally thinking through why this animal's doing this differently. So lots of sperm here. They can get by with a lower insemination dose, again, by combining those boars, mixing boar semen, so that they can increase the competitive nature. With the dog, remember, the big thing is this copulatory tie. Remember, he has to make intermission before he has a complete erection. Because once he has a complete erection, he's got bulbous glandus is going to expand. It's going to lock him in there. So remember that these canids actually have the os penis. Okay? They have a very, very small bone in the free portion of that penis, so that it keeps its rigid nature, allowing it to be extended with very, very minimal blood flow and stay rigid to make that initial intermission. All right? So when you look at this thing, looking through those stages, I know we've talked about them, but look at the time frame. Just, you know, that first stage to actually make intermission, it's not very much. You know, they kind of, you know, say, hey, and then here we go. Within 5 minutes, I've completely turned around, but notice the actual tie, okay? That is a very extensive time period. And what is happening is that, remember that we talked about initially, there's going to be, or maybe we didn't, but there's 3 major fractions. There's going to be, so what accessory sex glands does the dog have? Prostate. So where's the fluid going to come from? Prostate. So it's going to go prostate, ejaculate, prostate. All right, so initially, we're going to have pre-ejaculatory fluid. In all these species, you're going to have pre-ejaculatory fluid. What's the intent or purpose of pre-ejaculatory fluids? Okay, so it could be to help increase lubrication, okay, because they do have a viscous kind of mucoid like consistency to them. What else? Clean the urethra. Yeah, most of them are going to have a lot of pH buffers. Okay, so it is part is to wash any cellular debris as well as urine out of the urethra, so that we can protect those spermatozoa. So it can be lubrication, and it is cleansing of the urethra there. So we're going to have prostate, pre-ejaculatory fluid. We're going to have testicular content with spermatozoa, and then that third phase of the ejaculation is what is really extending that ejaculatory phase. And there's a lot of prostatic fluid that comes in that third phase. What's the point of all that prostatic fluid? Yeah, remember that cervix points downward in that craniovaginal vault? And so he's going to be depositing semen kind of up there in that cul-de-sac, that blind-ended antral portion of the vagina. So he's going to put a little bit of pre-ejaculatory fluid, cleansing the urethra. Once he makes intromission and creates a tie, he'll actually ejaculate, and then he will spend the remainder of that copulatory tie just depositing prostatic fluid in there, basically trying to increase the pressure to force semen literally up into the cervix, okay? So he's just going to fill up that vagina with prostatic fluid, allowing the spermatozoa to float and then swim dorsally or up and into the uterus. All right. With the cat, I think we talked a lot about this. Remember that with the cat, if that penis is relaxed or not erect, it's actually pointing backwards. Remember that those testicles are really, really high. There's no cremaster muscle in the felid. Okay, those testicles are just kind of fixed, really, really high, closer to the anus or high up on that perineum than other species. There's, there is sometimes an os penis, maybe species kind of more related there. In the cats, the domesticated cat, we probably don't see an os penis very often. But remember, they have those papilla or those penile spines, and then those are very much testosterone or androgen dependent. Most of the cats that you guys are going to see that have an obstruction, when you actually see a cat penis, it is going to look very smooth. You're not going to see these things. Well, you're also probably not going to see the tomcat, be plugged up. So that's why you're seeing these neutered male cats. All right, so during the act of copulation, it too is fairly short-lived, but it doesn't look like they're enjoying what they're doing. It is very aggressive in nature. Give it another month or two if y'all live in a trailer park in Auburn. You'll hear them out there under the trailers or in the dumpsters, and and if you think that there's a cat fight somewhere, and it pretty much is. At some point, though, he actually makes intermission and ejaculates. Other than that, it looks like a cat fight. When the female actually, remember that here's something unique, she is actually going to be an induced ovulator, okay? So that's why that male has those penile spines. He is really stimulating the vagina. It probably does hurt a little bit, and that's why all the screaming, but that is required to allow or create that LH surge, okay? It is that she is not going to ovulate in a timely fashion. We'll look at that estrous cycle later on in the semester very briefly, but remember, she will, if she doesn't get induced, she will cycle within a few days back into estrus. She doesn't go into diestrus and go all the way through the cycle again. She's going to have this little quick way of recycling things. So again, she probably in the wild, very much going to be a seasonal polyestrus. Domesticated cat probably going to have the ability, especially an indoor cat, to cycle at any time of the year. Okay. The other part of ovulation induction is that she will oftentimes breed to many different males. Okay. Her goal is to create kittens. Okay, and they are really good at it. Many times you guys will spay a cat for somebody because it's had kittens and it is nursing, 6 or 8 kittens, and you go to spay her and she's pregnant again. I mean, she's got 2 or 3 week old kittens nursing them, and she's pregnant. I mean, they are a highly fecund creature. Yes.
So when female cats, they can have offspring for multiple size.
Yes.
Do dogs can also?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that's why always in the cartoons, like Lady and the Tramp, there's like all the puppies look like Lady and the one looks like Tramp. There is some truth to that. cartoonists don't really know, you know, what they're mimicking there, but, you know, yes, that is why, you know, those puppies can all look different. Every single puppy could have a different, you know, tire. So, yep, she doesn't usually care. She just needs to be pregnant, to propagate her species there. When you get to these camelids, they actually have, they too are induced ovulators, okay? And so it does take this, somewhat degree of almost vaginal trauma, just like in the, and not, trauma might be the rough word, but a very aggressive stimulation of that vaginal tissue. Remember, again, the cat with the penile papilla or spines, with these small camelids, these South American camelids, they actually have this cartilaginous type gland penis. It is very rigid, very hard, and not only does he traverse the cervix, but he probably has the ability in his pelvic motions to actually run this penis down each horn and individually inseminate within each horn is what we believe actually happens. On top of that, there's this thing called plasma factor. So they have learned that even though these girls are induced ovulators, through the process of artificial insemination, they've had the ability to induce some of these girls. They AI'd them and they did get pregnant. If we go just on the grounds of being an induced ovulator and remove the male, then that doesn't make sense, right? So what they've actually learned is that there are some kind of secret ingredients in the seminal plasma, and they have taken typically sort semen or package semen, most of the time we're removing most of the seminal plasma. We're taking just a pellet of sperm, and then we're adding an extender, okay, some ingredients that we believe will last better or be better and longer than the ingredients in seminal plasma. They have taken that separated seminal plasma, and there was one study that actually were injecting it subcutaneously in these girls, and they were ovulating without the presence of a male. And so there is something kind of magical in that seminal plasma that can and does contribute to ovulation induction there. Anybody know what orgling is? It is. So he kind of sings to the female. She will sit down in this fashion, and beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But notice in all these species, they don't have to look each other in the eye. But she's going to go down in this position, external recumbency, and if she is not receptive, what is she going to do? She's going to spit. She's going to spit. It's called spin off, okay? And a lot of times they use spitting off as a somewhat of a pregnancy detection, meaning they will, once she's been bred by this male, they'll bring that male back occasionally, say once a week, and try to visit that female, because she too will have kind of almost like this cat-like ability to throw herself back into an estrous cycle if she's not pregnant. So once a week or so, they'll bring the male back in the presence, and last week she loved him. This week she'll spit in his face, and if she spits in his face, then you have a pretty good feeling that she got pregnant, that she doesn't need him around anymore. Okay, so the spit off test. But he is, as he's ejaculating, he's going to lean up there in her ear and sing her a little song, and it's just like and it is they call it orgling, and that's how they do it. Okay. Question there?
You talking about this, not about organ.
Okay.
About the seminal plasma.
Yeah.
Like having to leave it, like if you were going to get into camelid, would that affect how much extender you could add, or
Well,
extender?
I don't have very good luck with these things. My survival rate is very low in dealing with these animals, so I've chosen not to reproduce them, okay? But I think that what happens in or when they do engage in artificial insemination, I think it is just fresh, cooled type scenarios. So there's not a lot of extending or freezing it and spinning it down and concentrating it. I think that they have to have that seminal plasma involved. All right, so if we talk about coitus, let's see here. We may stop right here. Let's stop right here, and we'll come back and talk about trauma and mismating tomorrow, and get a little bit more time. Any other questions? Yes.
On them things, you have to play some kind of music for them.
Yeah, Chad, that's one of those things I've never really participated in. I've got my own song. It works on my own. That's for y'all to figure out. I have, and they have all died. I mean, I have a very clear track record of not being able to save these things. I seriously, every one of them I worked on has died. And it usually wasn't due to anything I did. These guys are prey as well. So when you think about the species that you are working on, when we look at small ruminants and even cattle to some degree, but you take swine or you take these small these South American camelids, many times by the time the client brings you this patient, there many times there's very little you can do. These animals are often far more ill than they appear to be, because remember, their whole goal is to keep up with the herd, right? They don't want to express weakness. So many of the times when the owners have detected that they don't feel good, for instance, what's the top two problems go hand in hand with goats in this part of the world? Parasites or dogs. Parasites and dogs, okay? No coyotes in there as well, but parasites and canids. Most people, and every goat that I've seen here, most of the time somebody brings me a goat that is anemic, their pack cell volume is usually in the single digits. Okay, the last goat somebody brought me, it was one of the goats from across campus, got a pack cell volume of 4. Okay. Now we saved her because we did a blood transfusion, but then she died a couple weeks later because they fed her, died of grain overload. She got back home, but anyway, in some lose them. But so these guys are oftentimes far more sick than the owners realize, and you just need to be very real and upfront with these folks when they bring you these animals and just tell them exactly what the picture is. And hey, we're going to hope for the best, but you need to be, prepared for the worst, okay? And just be very, very real when you're working on, these prey type animals. Any other questions?